Should you use AI to help price your home? My name is Rachel Mooney, and I sell real estate here in North Metro Atlanta. And let's just do a really quick dive on the pros and cons to using AI to help you price your property. Well, first off, I want to start out with a story. So I went on a listing appointment several weeks ago, and the seller used AI to help them price their property. And when we talk about AI, we're talking about Zillow and Realtor.com and all the different programs that have algorithms that help assess what the property value would be. Well, they thought their house should be priced at $620,000. But after doing an assessment of the house, a quick walkthrough, looking at buyer demand, the area, this house was in a cul-de-sac, it backed up to the greenway, and they had done about $70,000 worth of renovations. And so we actually priced the property higher than what the AI tools were telling at $620. We priced it at $665, and we actually had multiple offers. And so what AI did not know is AI did not know that they had put so much into upgrades into their property, and they didn't know the area, the way the house was situated on the lot, and it did not know buyer demand. So that is a really quick story of not trusting AI. But let's talk about some of the pros to AI, and then we'll get back into the cons of it as well. Okay, so what AI does really well is giving you kind of an estimate. If you are in what we call a cookie cutter neighborhood, you're in an area where there's a lot of homes that look very similar. Your home is not a custom built home or an older home. AI can give you kind of a roundabout of what your home price would list for and sell for. And they're taking the data from our MLSs, they're taking tax record data, and they're putting together what they think your home would sell for. So it does give you a really good, accurate starting point. But again, it's not always necessarily accurate because it's not a human being. So despite its strengths, it does have its weaknesses. It's not a human being, it's a machine. And it is only taking the data that is in online that somebody has entered in. And so if somebody is entering in wrong data or it's looking at something that's inaccurate, it's going to spit out inaccurate data. And so that is the really biggest thing about AI. It doesn't understand buyer demand. It doesn't understand what buyers are looking at, what they're passing on, and they don't really understand the area as well. So AI can be really great, but then most of the time it's going to be inaccurate because it's really just a machine. So AI doesn't just affect sellers, right? It also affects buyers, because if you are on Zillow and you are looking at a home price and you're buying a home, and Zillow says the home is only worth $600, but the house is actually on the market for $640, a buyer is going to look at that and think that the AI data is actually accurate, and they're going to go in and offer $600 for your property. So AI data doesn't just hurt sellers, but it also hurts the buyers as well. And you have to be aware of that too. So if you're using one of those algorithm programs where you're putting in the data and manipulating it, that can hurt you too in the long run. All right, so the pros on not using AI, but using your local realtor is we understand our market, right? We're in it every single day. And online only has a little snippet of what's actually happening in our local marketplace. A really good prime example would be if you're in an area where there's a lot of new construction. The builders do not put all those properties in the MLS or online. They will only put one or two, and they might have 10 or 15 homes available. And the reason that they don't do that is because every time you put a property into an MLS system, you have to pay for that. You're either paying for it up front or paying for it at the closing. And so builders just don't do that. They only will put one or two products out there in order to be able to generate traffic into a community. That's a really good prime example of why AI is not going to have the most accurate data. So you need to have your local realtor understand the marketplace. We're in it every day. We're looking at what buyers are passing on, why they're passing on these things. And if we're doing open houses, we're seeing the frenzy of why buyers are choosing certain properties over others. And so that only comes with agents that are being in the marketplace and are doing this on a regular basis, day in and day out. Our pricing is going to be a lot more accurate than AI. Now, that doesn't mean you don't want to use AI. You can use AI to give you some sort of talking or starting points so that when you go into talking with a realtor, you have kind of a somewhat understanding of what's happening on the AI side, but then meshing that with your local realtor to figure out what is the right price, how long is a property going to stay on the market, and what are the pros and cons and what buyers are looking for. So if you think that moving forward, you want to put your house on the market, I do suggest that you talk to your local realtor. If you're here in North Metro Atlanta, then obviously you want to talk to me, and we'll have a one-on-one conversation. We'll go through, analyze your property, take a look at the things that you have done. How is the property sitting? Where is the buyer pool currently? And is your home in that specific pool, or do we need to be in a different price bracket or a different time of year for those specific buyers? So I hope you find that this information is helpful. Make sure you share this video, throw in some comments, and follow our YouTube page. I look forward to seeing you next time.